Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and the Trends. I am Enzo. This is my forever co-host, John. Today, we talk about Fantastic Four First Steps. We're taking a small break from horror to talk about some comic book properties this week, and maybe one dinosaur movie, depending on the digital release. But yeah, I will say, finally, 20 years after the original Fantastic Four, we finally get a really good Fantastic Four movie. I know a lot of people like the Chris Evans ones because they grew up with it, and there is some fun to be had in that. And I do find some charm to that, where I'm like, well, at least you tried. The second movie, the less said, the better, though. But yeah.
Well, not gonna lie, the Silver Surfer in that movie was pretty sick.
Yeah, I do like the combination of Lawrence Fishburne and fuck, I forgot his name. The Pan's Labyrinth guy. This guy. Yeah, great combination. I'm sure I'll remember this sometime in this review. I'm like, fuck, and now I remember. But yeah, this is the MCU's attempt at the Fantastic Four, and it stars everybody's favorite actor right now, Pedro Pascal, alongside Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Backrack as the titular family, the Fantastic Four. And I will say, out of all the variations we've got of the Fantastic Four, I think this is obviously my favorite. I do like the chemistry between this family.
I do too.
Yeah.
Like they do. I like it that they are already kind of like in it for a while now.
Yeah,
I
same
think it's
here.
like 4 years.
Yeah,
A lot of fours here, but like they've been doing it for 4 years.
yeah,
They're already experienced, and I'm like, you already have like their whole chemistry built. And
Yeah.
you just kind of want to see that when it comes to these kind of characters, when we already heard their backstory and like how they started out so many times already.
yeah.
But yeah, I do love the as you said, I do love the chemistry between all of them, and they do feel like a family.
Yeah, exactly. I look at how Reed and Sue are essentially like mom and dad, and Johnny and the Thing are essentially like brother and brother. I do wish they would develop the Thing a bit more, but like at the same time, I do like how Johnny plays a huge role, showing that he's also a genius in his own right. And like I overall in this film, I do like this Jetsons 1960s vibe. Like, there's a theory that if after Secret Wars this world resets, the universe resets to this being like the main universe, and I wouldn't mind that.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That would be sick, because I do love the Adam Punk looking Jetsons vibe.
Yeah,
Like what the 50s thought the future would look like.
yeah,
It's just a whole interesting take, and it works. At some points I forget that, like, hey, we're actually in this different universe.
yeah,
And actually, no, I don't like. It doesn't like skip my mind. I'm like, I love that design. I love the architecture. I love it that like Reed Richards doesn't have a computer. He has a blackboard
yeah,
for everything, and I'm just like, I love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like how the main thing of why I've always found I like later on in life when I started reading comics, I found Reed Richards like extremely engaging is because of his intellect, and not necessarily his powers, but like his determination to like solve every problem he has. Like, the problem starts with the arrival of the Silver Surfer, played by Julia Garner from Weapons, who ushers in like a warning of like, hold your loved ones close, say the words you're afraid to say, because your end is near. I herald Galactus. And she zooms across, and the Fantastic Four are just like, what the fuck just happened? I guess this is the end of our days.
Yeah, and like they all, with that they also like find out that like, hey, Sue Storm is also pregnant,
Yeah,
and they do. I can't believe that they brought Sue Storm along while she was pregnant.
yeah.
But okay. Anyway.
To be fair, they didn't know Galactus could accelerate her pregnancy. Where I'm like, oh, that's one of his powers.
That's not my concern. Like, I think in general, you don't put a pregnant woman inside of a rocket ship.
True. I also like the fact that she is the voice of like their representative to the world, and like the UN, and yeah. Again, mother figure to
love that.
all.
Yeah, I love that. I love that as well. That they're very integrated into the government and politics. I was like, yeah, I feel like that they should have a say as well.
Yeah.
And like even for that character, the mole man guy,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I was like, yeah,
Again, another role of his where I'm like, I wish I saw more of Paul Waterhouse.
more, yeah. I think we're gonna see more for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, anyway, yeah, they head to Galactus, and I love it that he's huge. I
Yeah.
love it that he's comic book accurate, and like, I love it that he's that daunting. Even after their interaction with him, them preparing for Galactus, they're already kind of just like, fuck me. It's kind of like Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
You see like the moon looming, and you know it's getting closer.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, and it made me genuinely scared of Galactus. I was like, oh.
Like when I saw this movie, I was like looking for his eyes in the show. I was like, where is he? And then he's massive. I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ! How are you gonna beat that? Like, this world has no like gods or gamma radiated monsters. Like, there's like 4 people endued with like, you're a rock, you're on flames, you're invisible, and you can stretch. What the fuck are you supposed to do against that?
Yeah.
And like that's, I hear people say that's like the most boring part where they're prepping for him, but I'm like, I like seeing Reed work it out where he's like, I don't know what to do, but I'm gonna think, like, to quote the Martian, I'm gonna science the shit out of this to defeat
Yeah.
Galactus.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's like that was a very intriguing part for me. Is
Yeah.
that it wasn't your typical superhero movie where they're like, oh, bad guy comes in, we gotta fight him.
Yeah.
You know, when there's something big happening, like an apocalyptic event's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You kind of have to hunker down and think this through. You can't have like,
Yeah.
like, if there's some other side plot of like another enemy coming in and they're fighting that,
Yeah.
it might have just ruined like the movie. Them already like escaping, and you just I love seeing how they like did Silver Surfer here.
Yeah.
Like, you saw the capabilities of the Silver Surfer here,
Yeah.
and it was fucking amazing, and I love that.
I love the scene when they're going through the wormhole and John is like, we can't fire in a straight line. I have to think my way out of this. Like, each solution doesn't require like fisticuffs. Each solution requires brain power. Like them trying to outsmart the surfer in the wormhole, or them trying to trick her into going to the black hole where it reaches like a little bit closer, for enough for us to disappear and enough for it to suck her in. And it's just seeing his brain power be put to good use. And like I like the foreshadowing where it implies that Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful beings the universe has ever seen, and which is true in the comics. Like, he can create micro universes in the comics, and he's like beyond an Omega level mutant, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I think there's something that Franklin also surpassed, and it is the ugly baby CGI. I have to admit, Franklin did not look good.
Yeah, I was like, CGI still on the Kelly seal.
Yeah, it's still not like, you know, Renesmee Twilight bad.
Yeah,
But it was bad.
yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, like once he grew up a bit, once a couple of months came by, they started using a real baby. But before that, it was just like, nope, that's not a child.
No, that's a creation in the computer. I do love that scene where the world is like, what about us? We have kids too. We have lives.
Yeah.
And Sue Storm has to tell them, like, we all have to hunker down together. We all have to, as the world, collectively work together. And it's inspiring to see the world, this world at least, like, be like, all right, we have a goal. We have to work together. And Sue lays down the line where she's like, I'm not going to sacrifice my child to save this world, but I'm not going to sacrifice the world to save my child, but I'm not going to sacrifice my child to save the world, and vice versa.
It was the other way around.
Sorry,
But
yeah.
I love that speech.
Yeah.
That's actually something I was wondering to what kind of intrigued me with this movie is like, when they came back, they're like, we couldn't beat it.
Yeah.
There's something gonna come. He laid out his terms, and we can't
Do that.
give it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't. We can't do that
Yeah.
because it's our child. And yes, a lot of people would be like, hey, think of the greater good.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing one life for another. For a many.
Yeah.
But of course they couldn't do that. And Sue Storm pulling up with this speech.
Yeah.
I was like, I love that. Like
Yeah.
that just showed what her part is in this family, what Reed Richards' part in this family, even like Johnny and even the Thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the Thing. I got he's more of like really good support here because
Yeah.
I really don't know how he can like punch his way out of this thing, unless it was like a good amount of like bad guys and minions. I think he could like show us what he's capable of, but here he was kind of like, all right, I don't know what he's gonna be doing.
Yeah, it's not like he's fighting Doctor Doom bots throughout. He's
Yeah.
fighting a literal god. And yeah, it is like how both Fantastic Four and Superman are both inspiring. Where like, yeah, the world should come together most days. And then you look at our world, you're like, if only. I do love the scene when they're getting ready to transport the Earth, and then they're like, why is that one red? And you see the Surfer just wreak havoc. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then Johnny shows that he is also genius because he uses a Rosetta Stone device to translate the Silver Surfer's language to confront her, and she's like, your world was the only one that was spared, but at what cost? Because all of these worlds did not make it, and because you chose them. And then she is haunted by the voices. He just flies off, and they're like, well, there goes that plan.
Yeah, and like, yeah, they're all kind of like, well, what are we gonna do now? I love this scene. I do like this scene where Reed is like doing the math, he's doing everything, and he's like, we gotta bring Galactus here.
Yeah.
He has to pick up the baby by himself. And like, and that's what he wants. He wants the kid. And I love it that he's just like, the subtle cues of him like, so how are we gonna lure him? He looks at the baby for a second.
Yeah.
Sue immediately knew.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you do know.
Yeah.
You're like, and then you're like, oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
And I like it that that's who Pedro Pascal's character is that he has to think of like the darkest possibilities.
Yeah.
Any advantage that they can take, no matter how immoral or how dark it is, as long as they get on top.
Yeah.
He has to think of that.
Yeah.
And like that's somewhat his curse. And I'm just like, I like that. They establish who he is within like one scene.
Yeah.
And it was done great. I will say though, Pedro Pascal kind of didn't have a lot of lines
Yeah.
in this movie. Like he was,
He's just
yeah,
a lot
it was
of
kind of odd.
emoting, which acting is anyway. And like going back, I like how they hide the citizens of New York because it's Galactus for fuck's sake. And then when Galactus comes, like him just jumping into the ocean alone is enough to like generate tsunamis. Like they really did Galactus justice here. Like it cannot be overstated that what we got in 07 compared to now is like a major fucking upgrade, because it's just the scale of this dude beside the Statue of Liberty. I'm just like, how the fuck are you gonna beat him? You have no gods here, you have no Hulk. Like when they're fighting Galactus for a bit, you're just like, I don't think that's even 1% damage. That's just like negative 0.05 damage, you know?
Yeah, like they're barely scraping him, and then like, yeah, I like it that they had to outsmart him, and Sue Storm had to like pull, like a life-threatening tactic here, where she was like, "Yeah, I gotta put in my all into just making sure this guy doesn't come back." They open up the portal, they push him in, and sadly, he comes back out.
Yeah. And then Johnny, I wonder if this is foreshadowing in the future where Johnny has to sacrifice himself sometime down the line. But
I think so.
Yeah. I was kind of like, well, but it's too soon. We just met you. And the Silver Surfer pulls in clutch and pushes Galactus in. I was like, oh, okay.
I love that scene, not gonna lie. Like, where he's just like, tell Franklin Uncle Johnny loves him. I'm like, no.
Right?
Like, no. And then, like, yeah, of course, Silver Surfer, like, comes in for a clutch.
Yeah.
Sacrifices herself. But yeah.
Uh, and like we have like Franklin brings his mom back to life, and like they have a nice few 5 years for Franklin to grow up to be a child before he's eyed by this world's like true villain. And like I do like they don't reveal, we know who it is, but like just the set of like, oh shit, it's a green hood, oh shit, it's a silver mask. Why is Franklin not bothered by the burnt face? You know?
I love. They even showed it, like, foreshadowed it as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, when they were having that meeting, like, for everybody to work together,
Yeah.
Latvia is, like, missing.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess he's
like,
in this
there's
universe.
an empty chair for Latvia. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's sick. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it is confirmed that the director was like, yeah, that was Robert Downey Jr. Alan said. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
sweet. You were saying?
Yeah. No, I love this entire universe, and like, I love it that they finally did the the Fantastic Four correctly. I
Yeah.
almost said Justice League.
No, that was in the center cut. They already got that right. Anyway, go on.
No, but I love it that, yeah, when you think about it, the Fantastic Four is a little bit of a goofy bunch.
Yeah.
You can't really have them like somewhat Avengers style.
Yeah.
I love it that they kind of made them more. They made them stand out a bit more. That they're like, hey, we actually have brains here
Yeah.
as well. They think it out. They're putting out scenarios. You see Johnny Storm doing the Rosetta Stone thing. You see Sue Storm, like, trying to kind of like keep peace within amongst the people, and the Thing making pasta. Like, but yeah, like I love every bit of it, and that's who they are.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, I have powers and I can punch things.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why I like this movie. Like, where you're like, what are they supposed to do against such a big threat where you don't have your usual suspects and it's just them, like, again, to quote another sci-fi movie, scienceing the shit out of this problem to get a solution. And like, in your mind, like, if the Silver Surfer didn't wreak havoc, I'm sure Reed's other plan would have worked too, because I believe him that much with his science.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love the fact, as you said, they did do the Fantastic Four justice. They also did Galactus and the Silver Surfer justice. Especially Galactus, like Ralph Ineson as the voice. Like, I've always been a fan of him since Assassin's Creed Black Flag when he was Charles Vane, and now hearing him be like, clever little bug, sounds like you are fucking imposing, man.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's not the end of him as Galactus. I certainly hope not, because I'm sure once we all reset for after Secret Wars, I'm sure he'll be one of the bigger threats in that universe.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't know if you've seen that billboard in, I think it was Hollywood, where it's like all of the cast of Avengers Doomsday, like who is in the full cast reveal.
Yeah,
And-
I saw.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's interesting to see characters that were introduced like in '08 mixed with characters that were introduced in the literally beginning of this century, where I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I saw John Marston, like,
John Marston,
sorry, John. What's his name again?
huh? John,
Oh fuck, what?
John.
No, Cyclops.
Oh, James Marsden.
James Marston. My God.
I was like Red
Sorry,
Dead and
I went
Avengers.
Red Dead.
I was like, that's an interesting crossover. Hopefully, he has a better fate in Avengers than the game.
Yeah, but James Marston, like,
Yeah,
reprised his role as like, sorry, Cyclops, and we saw Gambit in that poster as well.
Yeah. Professor X and Magneto. Seeing Ian McKellen back, I was like, I'm fucking in. Hope I wish it wasn't pushed back to December next year, but at the same time, I'm like, take all the time you need to finish whatever you need to finish. But yeah, going back to this movie, what would you rate Fantastic Four First Steps?
I'd rate Fantastic Four First Steps an 8 out of 10. Like that, this is a solid movie. there are some lines where it was a bit off-putting, but like other than that, like I love the universe. I love the setting. I love that this is a different take on superheroes and then like a different take on the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That like, hey, these guys aren't just goofy gadgets and all that jazz. And like fighting crime. They really do think it through. They have a big part in this nation that they're like, hey, we're also part of the government. You know, we also like to use diplomacy. And I'm like, all right, I like that. They felt like a family. The chemistry between all of them they felt like a family. Like especially between Ben and Johnny.
Yeah.
Like you could tell that they're like they have this like brotherly like banter from time to time. Sue Storm and like Reed Richards, played by Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal. Amazing job.
Yeah.
They had the chemistry between them. They did feel like a real couple. And yeah, like even the villain, as you said, like Galactus, I was very intimidated by him.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for, as you said, like the rumors are like this might be like the Earth that we're gonna be focusing on.
Yeah.
And I would just love to see how that goes. I would love to see a new Captain America and like Iron Man and all that jazz, like go into that universe.
Oh yeah, it's confirmed that Steve Rogers and Tony Stark are being recast for the next generation.
Yeah, and I can't wait for that. And I love it. I love that that's gonna happen. Can't wait for the X-Men as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's so much opportunities, and I love it that it's coming from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Because they play such a big part in Marvel, but because of the movies, they barely used them because they didn't know how to use them,
Yeah.
like throughout the movies. So I'm just happy that they did it right this time. You know.
Same here. 8 out of 10 as well. A very, no pun intended, but a very fantastic job by Marvel. I think this again my favorite iteration. The chemistry is great among the four. The score itself is amazing by Michael Giacchino. It's funny that he composed the previous like original Fantastic Four of our generation before composing the actual Fantastic Four. And like it just adds to the aesthetic of what this world is, which is Adam Punk Jetson's vibe, and his score just brings it all to life. Great characters, and both Silver Surfer and Galactus are welcome antagonists. I know people complain about it being a woman as the Silver Surfer, but like after her debut here, I'm like I kind of want to see her come back. Not gonna lie.
What? I saw no difference between that Silver Surfer and the other Silver Surfer. She did a good job.
Yeah, it's just weird people complaining about the internet of like, oh, it's woke because it's a woman this time, not a man. I'm like, but I had to admit, I'm like, I don't see any difference. It's a being, it's a cosmic being on a surfboard. Like, what else do you need? Why does it need a gender? I'm like, the comics. Speaking of cosmic powers, the cosmic threat of Galactus, and I'm like, I think I understand what cosmic horror is finally. Like, I truly understand it now.
Agreed. Like a lot of times you're like, oh, it's gonna eat my. I'm like, at least it's quick.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh, it's just the waiting part that freaks the shit out of us.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like it's fucking coming, and there's signs.
Yeah.
Like you hate it when they're like, oh, it passed Mars. I'm like, what?
Right? You're like, oh, that's so near though. Oh, the end really is nigh. But yeah, question for you before we wrap this up is, out of the 3 Marvel movies this year, which is Cap 4, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four First Steps, which one is your favorite this year?
I would put. Not gonna lie, I like Thunderbolt. I really did.
Same here.
Yeah, and I would say that when it came to like writing and everything and the acting, sorry, it's up there. It's quite gray, but like, it's fine. But Thunderbolts first, Fantastic Four second, and I not gonna lie, Captain America, it's like a good 5. You know, we could skip a place.
Exactly. Yeah, same. Not same, but like Fantastic Four is up first for me, and then Thunderbolts. And then if I have to choose a third, if it can't be Captain, if I don't want Captain America to be third, unfortunately, because again the movie's like alright. I would say Daredevil Born Again because I'm like it's the best one in the show right now.
Agree.
Yeah. Speaking of Born Again characters, I can't wait to see next year is the first Marvel movie is Spider-Man, like going something home with John Bernthal and Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm intrigued. I'm gonna check it out.
Same.
Hopefully next year, my plan next year is to finish up our Marvel slate because we haven't done Iron Man 2 or 3 or Captain Marvel. So whatever stuff on our Marvel slate, we'll try to finish next year in preparation for Spider-Man and Avengers Doomsday. But until then, if you like what you see here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see your best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. And the video Dodo's voices on TikTok and Answolf on Letterboxd, where can I find you?
You can find me at JohnJoM_ on Instagram. It is my account.
And until the next time, we'll see you then. Bye everybody.
Ciao.